All right, everyone. So excited that you all are able to join us for this impromptu discussion. My name is Hannah Thurgan, and I have the pleasure of meeting with yet another successful entrepreneur, but just a true man of valor. Okay. I happen to know Mr. Lavon Everett personally, and he is a man of his word, a man of integrity. So beyond all of the success that we're getting ready to talk about, I think that that's probably the thing that stands out about him the most. So coming up to the virtual stage, which he's already here, is Lavon Everett. And we're going to talk to him a little bit about his journey, especially in the, logistics. And I'm hoping that something that he says you will be able to take away with not just encouragement, but hopefully with next steps on how you too can maybe follow in his footsteps or maybe something in an adjacent career. So with that being said, welcome, Lavon. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So if you could just let the people know just a little bit about you, maybe where you're from, your career, your background, and what inspired you to start your own driving and logistics company.
Okay, well, to start, I'm Lavon Everett. By the way, if you don't know, now you know. I was born and raised in New York City. I had the opportunity to travel around the world. I'm from a military family. I was a military brat, so I was able to see a lot of things at a young age. As far as my entrepreneurial inspiration, it started real young. I used to go down to Chinatown with my Uncle Lee, and he introduced me to, I guess you would call it hustling for the younger audience, right? So we would go down to Chinatown. We would buy these little car vacuum cleaners, about $7 a piece. And we would take them back to downtown Brooklyn and on Fulton Street, if any of you are familiar with downtown Brooklyn and Fulton Street. And we would just go over there and we would give a pitch and sell the vacuum cleaners. We would demonstrate the vacuum cleaners and then hopefully get a sale. So long story short, I caught the entrepreneur bug from that, and I've been an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur my entire life. Just a little bit about myself and my background. So I've been in the military recently, well, soon to be retired, 25 years of honorable service. My last date will be February 9th. And
Wow.
I just started to go on this journey as far as an entrepreneur in the transportation logistics business. So I do have a bachelor's degree in transportation logistics management, but you don't need a bachelor's degree to get into this industry. All you need is drive, determination, dedication, and a little bit of discipline. And you can also get into this industry, whether you're an operator, an owner operator, or if you're just starting out trying to get your commercial license. It's very simple to do. The biggest thing is, and I stress this even to my kids and to a lot of other young soldiers that I've mentored in the past, and even just some of my peers, make sure number one, keep your driver's license clean. All right, that's an absolute must, especially with everything going on today in today's economy. The DOT and the FMSCA, which you will become familiar with as you go through your journey. You'll learn more about the different regulations and stuff that's in place to keep you compliant and also to keep you safe and the people on the road safe as well. So again, number one, clean driver's license.
Mhm.
Number two, especially if you're young and you're just starting out, save your money because it's going to become a time where, starting out as a driver, you may be working for a company or you may be fortunate enough to get your own truck like I started out with a 26-foot box truck, right? But you got to have good credit because a lot of times banks will not lend to you if you don't have good credit. Or what you can do is find a mentor or even what we like to call in the industry or in the entrepreneur world, an angel investor. That's someone who knows you personally, or from someone else who sees your vision, understands your vision, and has enough trust in you to invest in what your goals and your dreams is. And with that being said, the only thing else left to do is just to get started. So the first thing that I would recommend that you do, if you already have your regular driver's license, well, specifically with box trucks, a good thing about box trucks, you don't need a CDL. But if you have goals or you want to operate, say, a semi-tractor trailer, then you have to get your Class A CDL. Anything over 26,000 pounds, you require a commercial driver's license. But let's just stay focused on the box truck because that's kind of like the barrier of entry. And even a step below that, if you can't afford to get a box truck or you don't know someone who's willing to allow you to operate one of their box trucks, you can even start out with Sprinter vans. Sprinter vans
Mm.
are a lot more affordable. They're better on gas. And in our gig economy, there's always opportunities for you to get behind the wheel of a Sprinter van or a cargo van and do gig jobs as opposed to Uber and Lyft, where you can make a substantial amount more money per day, anywhere between about $150 to $300 a day. And you can start stacking up your money and saving towards that goal of eventually getting a larger truck like a box truck, or even getting into one of the commercial trucks like a semi trailer.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You dropped so many gems in like 5 minutes. If this was live, I know that the chat box would be lit up. I want to really make sure that we highlight what you just said. First of all, great tips, making sure that they, keep your driving record clean, especially the next time that somebody tries to cut you off on the road, you want to do a little something, think twice. Is what Lavon is saying. But also, I love what you're saying, especially in today's economy, that you don't have to wait for the big opportunity. What I heard you say is that there's some things that people can start doing now with the box trucks and sprinters and things of that nature. Are there some investments or amount of what do you think that people can start to save, or what should they start? What's their starter fund? What does that look like to get
So,
started?
so I would say anything. Start with $10. Start with $100. Whatever you can afford, whatever is within your budget, start with that, and just set a goal, whether it be a short-term goal or a long-term goal. Focus on the long-term goal and the vision as opposed to the short-term goal or just to make some money, right? Anybody can make money nowadays, but the goal is to visualize yourself where you are 3 to 5 years from now, or where you would like to be, even though it may not take that long for every single person. But by establishing those short and those long-term goals and writing them down, you have something to strive for. That's what I would say.
Love it, love it, love it. What, you had any other insights? I know I had a few more questions for you.
Yeah, a couple of things also. So, again, not to discourage anyone. Let's just say you don't have a clean pass. Let's say you have a conviction or a prior conviction on your record. That does not disclude you as well. All right, anything 3 years or beyond, you are still able to get into the trucking industry. The biggest thing that they look at is just to make sure that you're trustworthy and reliable. All right. Being on time is very important. All right.
Mm.
Especially starting out. You do not want to miss your pickup location, and you definitely don't want to be late to the destination that you're delivering to. So just keep those things in mind. Always be punctual. Always be professional, because everyone is always looking. All right. Especially for those who are looking to start their own business. How you carry yourself is how people see you, and that's how they treat you. So if you want to be treated with respect, if you want to be if you want to be treated with respect, and if you want people to take you serious, you have to know when to be serious and when not to be serious. But always be a professional, and don't be afraid to network. Take every opportunity that you can to network while you're out there on the road, or while you're in the process of getting your license or your CDL, or whatever the case may have you. Just like today on this call, I'm a resource. Hanather is a resource. Use all of the resources around you, because you never know who you might run into and how they may be able to either help you, whether it be financially or just provide you with some advice. So there's an old saying, the game is to be sold, not told. Well, I believe in the opposite. The game is to be told and not sold. And this is very important, especially for our generation and the younger ones behind us. When I'm growing up, and just to tell me, so I just turned 48, by the way. So I know I look handsome. I don't look that old. But anyways, back to the point is, don't ever think that it's too late or it's too soon. The only thing that you got to know is, if you're 18, you have to wait until you're 18 years old before you can apply for a CDL, but you don't have to wait until you're 18-year-old to get your driver's license, depending on what state you're in.
That's so good, so good. Some of the students, especially that are interested in transportation, driving, logistics, so on and so forth, some folks talk about the short-term goals and long-term goals as it relates to building their family or family life. And there's some folks that, have children or plan on having children. Any advice on balancing the family life with the demands of driving on the road, whether short term or long term, because, we know that you can make a lot of money, especially if you stay on that road. But any thoughts about that, how to balance that?
The best word of advice that I can give you is to communicate as best as you can with your significant other. Try to keep them informed of what you are trying to do and what your plans are, so that way they don't feel left out.
Mm,
The trucking industry, depending on what lane you decide to go down, can be a lonely journey, but it doesn't have to be. And I would just say, always put family first. Always make time for your family, and make making money the second priority.
mm,
Now, if you don't have a family, if you don't have, if you're not, if you don't have young children, then I would say, if you can, try to stay on the road as much as possible. On average, usually, if you're doing over the road or OTR, you should be on the road about 2 to 3 weeks, and you can average anywhere between about $3,000 to $7,000. Now, here's a caveat to that. If you do decide to get your own motor carriers and your own authority, sometimes it takes a little while to what they call seasoning. Usually it takes about 6 months to get seasoned, and then that's when a lot of the brokers and the freight forwarders will
mm,
approve you for higher paying loads. But again, that's not to discourage you, because we all got to start from somewhere. And the good thing about with the trucking industry, you are your number one advocate. So again, I can't stress it enough: network, network, network. There might even be a situation where, as I'm scaling, I may need additional either drivers or someone who has their own trucks, their own authority. I wouldn't mind leasing under you, as long as that, you go through the vetting process. And then there's another opportunity for you. And again, my vision and my goal for my business is to help others, because one hand always washes the other, and you never know when you need someone who has 3 or 4 trucks down the line to assist you in scaling your business as well. And we take care of each other. This we need to get back to that family, and that saying that it takes a village to raise a child. Even though we're not children, we're young adults and we're grown adults, but that mindset always needs to be there.
that's so good. So good. So good. All right. Any other insights before I wanted to ask you about, some parting, words or even mindset or habits that, folks watching might need to really hone in on. But any other insights before that final question?
All right, number one, YouTube University. I can't stress it enough.
You sound like you were in my class. I said the same thing. Go ahead, keep it going.
But don't take everything that you watch and see on YouTube as Bible. For example, you have a lot of people who start out in this business and they feel like they have to pay for everything. That's not
Mm,
necessarily the case. A lot of the compliances and filings that you have to file outside of acquiring your truck, acquiring your authority and your motor carriers, a lot of this stuff is free. For an example, they have what's called a biannual report. And basically, that biannual report, once you first start your authority, if you're going that route, you have to file paperwork with the FMSCA to get your authority, and it usually takes about 21 days before you can get your motor carrier. So within that 21 days, you have to do everything that you require in order to become compliant. I should have brought it with me, but I don't have it. It's downstairs. But there's a DOT binder that has a list of all the table of contents, and I'll share it with Hennifer, and she could pass it on to the audience, so that way at least you have some type of template to go with. It's very simple, and just work towards getting those documents together. But again, I can't stress it enough. Take the time to read everything that you can when it comes to forming your LLC. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to Hennifer. I'm quite sure she can help you. I'm willing to help you, but just don't go out there and feel like you got to pay for all this stuff. I see a lot of people starting out; they're wasting anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 just to get started by
mm,
finding these mentors who are charging an exorbitant amount of money for individuals to get started. And again, the reason why we're getting into this business is to make money, not to lose money.
mm,
So make sure you understand the FMCA and the DOT regulations and how they work as it pertains to drivers and owner operators. Do your due diligence. Find a mentor who's not going to charge you, i.e., me. Find a mentor who's not going to charge you and is willing to walk you through the process and the steps to properly formulate your LLC, get your DOT and your motor carriers, find decent insurance quotes. And this is another reason why it's important to maintain a clean driver's record. because if not, the insurance companies will hit you with a high premium starting out. And the goal really when it comes to trucking, especially starting out, is understanding your cost per mile. All right. So you have your operating costs and you have your ideal cost per mile that you want to make in order to be profitable. So ideally, let's say in an ideal situation, your truck is paid for. That's one less thing you got to worry about. You don't have to worry about a truck note every month. So your main expenses is going to be your fuel costs, which you will incur weekly if you're the owner operator. If you're working for a company, you don't have to worry about fuel costs. Then you also have your insurance. On average, you can be seen anywhere as a new MC or authority on average anywhere between 900 all the way up to $1,800 a month, right? And then you also have your DOT and compliance. And also one thing that they don't never talk about, and you probably haven't heard it on YouTube if you are watching videos on YouTube, when you're first starting out, there's called a new entrant inspection exam that you have to do. And basically, you have to, FMCA is supposed to call you to schedule the new entrance inspection, or you can also go to the one of the weigh stations with your truck and get it inspected there. But ensure before you get on the road, make sure that you get your truck PM or do preventative maintenance and the DOT inspection on it. Make sure you got the proper licenses. Make sure you have that DOT compliance binder inside your truck, and most importantly, become familiar with your vehicle. Right? Because what happens is when you break down, the worst thing is having a mechanic, whether it be a mobile mechanic or you happen to take it to the shop, and you don't understand or know what the symptoms are of your truck, and then they're charging you absorbent prices just to get your truck fixed. So if I was to do a breakdown for my truck that I just got put on the road, outside of what I paid for the truck, and we were blessed to be able to pay for the truck cash, so we don't have a car, we don't have a truck note. With the DOT inspection, the preventative services, making sure all the fluids and everything was good, the licenses and everything, we probably out of pocket about $3,500. So if you got $3,500, and if you got good credit and you're able to put down a decent down payment, about 12% towards a truck, then you can get started.
Wow.
And if you can't, also remember you still also have the Sprinter or the cargo van route. Right, it's a lower barrier of entry as far as the cost is concerned, and you can still make comparable money to a box truck. Might not necessarily be comparable money to a semi trailer, but again, it's a way to get started. Now, I am known to get on my soapbox. So again, if you want to reach out to me, I don't have an Instagram or anything set up for this particular business because I do have a couple others, but you can reach me at Trucking at spearheadlogistics.co.site. Shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. If you're looking for a mentor, feel free to reach out to to Bianca. Sorry, Hennifer Bianca. I use them
Yeah,
interchangeably.
it's all good. It's my
Right.
full name. It's all good.
Just feel free to reach out to her. She'll definitely exchange my contacts. It's okay. Uh, anytime, any place, just give me a call, and I'll be more than welcome to help you out in your journey in trucking and logistics.
Thank you so much. You because you were so excellent. I gotta do the clapper. If you know me, you know me. I gotta always have the clapper. But seriously, thank you so much. I learned even more than I thought I knew. So seriously, you are a phenomenal teacher. So thank you for that. And thank you for breaking it down. And I just have a feeling that this might not be the last time that they'll see you. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But thank you so much for your time, Lavon. And again, for those of you watching, please make sure that you reach out. And especially, he is a wealth of knowledge. And again, who knows if you all keep the energy up, we might be able to bring him back and maybe even live and in person. So until next time, everybody, command your day and thank you again. Thank you again, Lavon.
Now, you're very welcome. Thank you.